Hiya. So we need to talk about this bill that God Emperor Ron DeSantis implemented in Florida. It's called HB 1557, or as SJWs have called it, Don't Say Gay Bill, which is not what it fucking is. For those of you who don't know how to read or are SJWs in university, this right here is what you refer to as a source. It's from the literal Florida Senate. Please read it because there's the actual bill. You may have noticed that the word gay doesn't even fucking appear in here. What the bill actually does is just prevents teachers from having overly charged sexual conversations about transgenderism and stuff when the kids are under like fucking 6 years old. Which, by the way, for anybody who is not fucking aware because you're stupid or part of this current generation, yes, Ron DeSantis is right to sign this bill. Let's just get it out of the way. He's right. If you're against the bill, you are objectively wrong, okay? There are people... Let's just give a rundown of all the people who disagree with this, okay? We have pedophiles who want to teach sexual things to children. You are wrong. We have people who think it is transphobic to not teach transgender things to children. You are wrong, because kids do not need to have, even if you are trans with literal dysphoria, you do not need this information yet at that age, because at that age, you are still in the process of figuring out who you are or what you are. And no, you are not going to go on hormones at like fucking 5 or 6 years old. And third and finally, you have the people who simply say, what? Teachers aren't doing that. What are you talking about? Ron DeSantis is just making stuff up that isn't actually happening. Even though it is. Like, how out of touch do you have to be to actually say that this is just simply not happening? It is happening big time, and it's been happening for quite a while. I literally have a video about it that I made almost 3 years ago, where LGBT lessons were being taught to 5-year-olds. Check out this video here where I break it down. It's a very important video. And then even further, I made this video here in, I think 2020. I forget when the fuck I made this. I removed the year from the title. But, this one here, I explain and expose how pedophilia is becoming a normalized thing in modern day, because it is. Having overly charged sexual conversations with kids who are like under 8, 9, 10 is disgusting and pedophilic. And just like I said, in these two videos, and even my Truth About Transgenderism video, you are brainwashing these kids. In fact, this is the reason. I know people make excuses, but actually this is the real reason why people who regret transitioning is on the rise. SJWs will have you believe it's because trans people are being insulted for being trans, and therefore they're regretting it to avoid the evil people who are mocking them. No. The real reason that trans people that regret is on the rise is because of the constant pressure on children, because they are not ready for the decision. But when you're forced into it, it doesn't really matter if you're ready, does it? That's the actual reason. With that out of the way, let's listen to Ron DeSantis himself.
This is not something that I thought was something that was going to be around. So this is something this is in Florida and other places, school for very young kids, the genderbread man. So this is trying to sow doubt about kids, about their gender identity. It's trying to say that, they could be whatever they want to be. This is inappropriate for kindergartners and first graders and second graders. Parents do not want this going on in their schools.
He is absolutely right. 100% factually driven right. Like, I don't understand. Like, literally the words out of his mouth said, this is inappropriate for children. And SJWs and stuff are still saying, oh, he hates trans people. Like, it's for kids, you dumb fucks. I know that you're all pedophiles and you want to have these conversations with kids, but that's not what the bill is. It just simply is not what it is. You can misinterpret this in any way you want. It's not what it is. Now, is the genderbread man technically a good thing? I mean, if you're showing the genderbread man to trans people who have confirmed gender dysphoria and are a little bit older to understand the conversation, sure, I agree with the genderbread man. Sure. Do I agree with the genderbread man being shared to children under 10 years old who are not dysphoric and are most likely not even transgender, are not having any dysphoric problems and all that? No. And neither does Ron DeSantis, and neither does anybody else with a fucking brain cell in their head. Okay? Like, just stop lying and misinterpreting what people are actually saying. So let's read from this article a little bit. This is, here's why Florida's anti-grooming bill is necessary. Now, you may be wondering, what, anti-grooming bill? The reason why a lot of sources are calling it the anti-grooming bill as opposed to just 1557 is because SJWs changed it to the don't say gay. So, intelligent people came back and said, oh, you're gonna lie and say that it's a don't say gay bill? Okay. Well, we'll come back with the truth and call it what it really is. It's an and the thing is too, it actually is an anti-grooming bill. Because as I've already proven, only like pedophiles and stuff are against this. So let's be honest, when you're trying to teach like having multiple body parts and cutting off body parts to children and talking about very graphic things, you're kind of grooming kids. You may not be grooming them, because normally when people say grooming kids, they're referring to like a pedophile who like makes friends with a kid and makes them trust them. There's two kinds of grooming. One is pedophilic grooming, where you're actually trying to like become friendly with the child and make them trust you. And the second type of grooming is when what they're doing, which is just teaching kids at very young ages so that their minds will absorb the information and they won't question it, and they're very naive and they believe everything. That's the other kind of grooming, and that is what they're doing. Like, objectively speaking, that is what they're doing. Democrats and their allies in the legacy media are up in arms about a Florida bill that would prohibit instruction on radical gender ideology and inappropriate sexual content in K-3 classrooms. And that's the other thing, too, that is literally in the bill, is that not only do they not just want these inappropriate conversations with kids in classrooms, but they also don't want teachers being the ones doing it. And that's another part I agree with. I do believe that these kinds of, like, heavily more charged conversations and all that about transphobia and transgenderism and learning who you are should be probably said better with the parents. I understand that even parents aren't perfect, but it's certainly better than having a teacher who you don't know what they're saying instructing your kid to just cut their penis off. Like, it's better if parents do it. I'm not saying it's perfect if parents do it, but it's certainly better. The legislation is really an anti-grooming bill meant to protect young children from coercive leftist theory on gender and sex. 100%. These topics can still be discussed in the classroom if a student brings them up, according to the bill, but they cannot be taught as fact or pushed on impressionable students who don't know any better. There you go. It's like, that's why I say that if you are against the bill, you're probably just a pedophile, let's be honest. And yes, I do agree with this, that the bill that I showed you in the beginning of the video does have some flaws. It is very vague. The bill doesn't even say the age on it, but we know the age because Ron DeSantis himself said the age, and then when it goes to court, it'll be more fleshed out as written here, and then the age will actually be specified, like from 5 to 8 years old. And then the article shows a few examples of crazy shit that really kind of shows why this bill is required. Last night, my fifth grader told us his vocabulary words for science: adolescence, consent, transgender, cisgender, non-binary. That's what they're teaching in science class now. Now, let's take a trip down memory lane. Do you all remember when these kinds of conversations were only tied to gender studies class? Yeah, not anymore. Now they're in your regular science class. So instead of learning about atoms and stuff, they're learning about the same shit from gender studies class. So not only have they created a new class to push this shit, but they're even pushing it into already existing classes. How fucking lovely. Then you got this one. This was in another school. In the hallways, there were images of polysexual, gender fluid, asexual. Like, stop teaching children this. Can you please fucking stop? Here's another crazy example. One group of activists, for example, hosted a sex education summer camp for children last year in Kentucky called the Sexy Sex Ed Camp, which features workshops on gender exploration, BDSM to kids, being a sex worker, prostitution for kids, nice, self-managed abortions, sexual activity while using licit and illicit drugs. Anyway, let's move on to some more fun shit. One of the most corrupt companies in the world, Disney, has a few things to say. We're going to review, go over it, and all that shit. For anyone wondering, the reason why I'm not making this video with Steph is because I'm going to take this more seriously. She loves Disney. I don't think she wants to hear me say that they're evil, but I have to tell the truth. They are fucking evil. I've known they were evil my whole life, but I've kind of gone a little bit easier on Disney because of Steph. However, in this particular conversation, sorry Steph, we're going 100%. Disney workers walk out to protest companies' "Don't Say Gay" bill response. Unbelievable. Employees staged a walkout at the iconic Disney studios in Burbank, California. Okay, already right off the bill, we need to respond to this. So, and even Governor Ron DeSantis responded to this, actually. The bill is being signed in Florida, but yet the Disney employees over in, I guess, Disneyland in California, they're the ones protesting. They should not have a fucking say here. You're in a different fucking state. Not only are you in a different state, but you're in California, the SJW wasteland of the entire universe, not just the United States. And by the way, I love how the article even admits what the bill really is in terms of age. The bill, which bars instruction on sexual orientation in kindergarten through 3rd grade. So now the articles are even admitting that this really is aimed at children and not just any gay person or any trans person, and they're still saying it's wrong. Okay, tell me you're a pedophile without telling me you're a pedophile. Even though only a small percentage of Walt Disney co-workers participated in a walkout on Tuesday, organizers felt they had won a moral victory with the company issuing a statement denouncing the anti-LGBTQ legislation that sparked employee outrage. So we're skipping a little bit ahead here. I'll go back and explain it to you. Basically, the whole reason why Disney even got involved in this is because their CEO, Bob Chapek, said nothing at all. When the whole thing was originally announced, he didn't say anything. Nothing. Now, I think it's obvious that his silence actually indicates that he supports the bill. When a company is being forced to speak up about some kind of SJW crap, if they speak out, it's usually because of fear, because they have to, because if they don't speak out, they get targeted, which is exactly what happened. Bob Chapek said nothing, most likely because he supported the bill but didn't actually want to admit that he did. And then when people pointed it out, they went crazy, and then finally he went on saying, okay, I don't support the bill, okay, relax, I don't support the fucking bill, okay, I'm against it, I'll do what I can to repeal it, blobby bullshit. And then on the other side, you got politicians like Ron DeSantis who accuse the entertainment conglomerate of bending to woke politics, which is true. Bob Chapek did not say anything until he was effectively forced to. That's why Ron DeSantis said that, and he's right. Earlier this month, the company decided to temporarily suspend political contributions in Florida. Oh, boo-hoo! Ron DeSantis, who has been tacking towards the Republican base on culture war issues, is seen as a 2024 presidential hopeful. I fucking hope so. Evan Power, Leon County's Republican Party chairman, said he believes a strident minority of Disney employees are pushing the issue, and DeSantis has more to gain by taking the side of parents who want more control over education and sexual conversations in early grades at school. Abso-fucking-lutely. So now, let's check out Bob Chapek's actual apology, because I gotta see this. In a new email to employees, Disney CEO Bob Chapek apologizes for the company's silence regarding Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. You need me to be a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights, and I let you down. I am sorry. Okay, let's see. Let's debunk everything. To my fellow colleagues, but especially our LGBT, I'll just stop there, community. Thank you to all who have reached out to me sharing your pain, frustration, and sadness over the company's response to the bill. This is how you know that the apology is just to pacify people. He would have at least used the actual bill's name. The fact that he's using the Don't Say Gay bill terminology is because it's SJW terminology. Therefore, it's to pacify them. Speaking to you, reading your messages, and meeting with you have helped me better understand how painful our silence was. It is clear that this is not just an issue about a bill in Florida, but instead yet another challenge about basic human rights. Fuck off, Bob. Fuck right off. About basic human rights. See, this is why it's always better not to apologize. Do you really think that any sane person and the locals of Florida are going to be happy about you apologizing? Yes, I am aware that SJWs will be happy, but I do wonder if the balance is set off here. But regardless, what's important is that you said basic human rights. So you're going to tell me that it's a basic human right to have sexually charged conversations with kids in kindergarten. Look, I know that Disney has a history with pedophilia, but man, it's different when you come out and say it outright, isn't it, Bob? You needed me to be a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights. This is not even about equality. This is about teaching sex to fucking children. I don't understand the complexity here. And I let you down, I'm sorry. What unbelievable. Our employees see the power of this great company as an opportunity to do good. I agree. Yes, we need to use our influence to promote that good by telling inclusive stories, but also by standing up for the rights of all. Again, it's not a right to teach sex to children, but whatever. Starting immediately, we are increasing our support for advocacy groups to combat similar legislation in other states. We are hard at work at creating a new framework for our political giving that will ensure our advocacy better reflects our values, and today we are pausing all potential political donations in the state of Florida pending this review. What an idiot. But I know there is so much more work to be done. I am committed to this work and to you all, and will continue to engage with the LGBT whatever community so that I can become a better ally. You will hear more about our progress in the coming weeks. I truly believe we are infinitely better and stronger company because of our LGBT. Again, you can keep... Look, SJWs and even manipulative fucking CEOs, you can keep saying all you want. Equality, human rights, LGBT, gay people. But this has nothing to do with that. And by the way, you and just SJWs as a whole, you are really insulting trans people here. No, you are. You're insulting trans people because the bill is about teaching these things to fucking borderline babies, and you're comparing it to trans people transitioning and gay people and all this shit. Real trans people are sitting there saying, whoa, I don't want to be protected by people who want to teach sex to children. Don't lump me in with these people. That's what real trans people are saying. Regardless, I missed the mark in this case, but I am an ally you can count on, and I will be outspoken champion for the protections, visibility, and opportunity you deserve by teaching children about sex and switching their bodies and cutting off body parts. Okay, got it. Moving on, this article talks about how now they're going to help repeal the fucking bill, and that Ron DeSantis shouldn't have signed it, apparently. Look at these fucking idiots protesting at Disney. Disney, oppose Florida's Don't Say Gay bill. Stand with us against Don't Say Gay. Yeah, you know what? I agree with the signs. Stand with them against those things, because those things are not what the bill says. Shitheads. The company has already vowed to donate $5 million to organizations including the Human Rights Campaign that work to protect LGBT rights. Executives have begun speaking to employees in town hall meetings about how it can better serve this community in the future. This is fucking amazing. We are literally just straight up ignoring the fact that, again, this bill has nothing to do with human rights or trans people or gay people. All he fucking said was, I don't want to groom children in school. Regardless, I shouldn't need to explain it, but I will. They're aware, they're aware that it's about grooming kids, but they're just lying, saying that, grooming kids, we can't say that because then if we support it, we look like pedophiles. Let's just pretend that it's against all trans people. Fuck right off. And by the way, you may have noticed earlier I did say that when he was silent, it was because he supported the bill and didn't want to admit to it. And now he's going full out, I'll donate money and all this fucking shit. I'll get it repealed and everything. Look, I don't know if it's still just an act to pacify people. I mean, let's be fair, $5 million for Disney is nothing. But maybe they really are supporting the bill. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a company. Okay, it's the same thing as during the month of June when companies all around the world change their fucking logos to a pride flag and pretend to be gay, and then when June's over, they never speak about it again, and they do it for their ultimate goal. which shouldn't be a shock. It's called money. And maybe that's all it really is to him. Either way, it's still disingenuous. Then again, we're talking about Disney here. Of course it's fucking disingenuous. And they also... Disney has also reinstated the same-sex kiss that was cut from the upcoming Pixar film Lightyear. Well, the relationship between Hawthorne, voiced by Uzo Aduba, and other women in the film was clear. The kiss had initially been removed from the final cut. But why? Like, even I don't have a problem with there just being a fucking same-sex kiss in a movie, even a Disney movie, as long as it's done tastefully and not in a fucking pedophilic way. Like, let me ask you, because I'm genuinely wondering after all these years of doing this. SJWs and Hollywood, my question's for you. Is it possible to express homosexuality or transgenderism in movies without looking like a pedophile? Can you do it? Can you do it? Because if you can, golf clap. I have no problem with that. All I want is for you to not look like a pedophile while doing it. I don't want you telling a fucking 5-year-old to cut off their penis because you like girls, therefore you're trans. Stop lying to kids. Stop grooming kids. Stop pushing ideas into impressionable kids. Stop with the fucking kid shit. I'm tired of it. Fuck. And now, after all that fun, let's take a look at this video. It's the Disney executives discussing the bill and gender politics. Okay.
I'm here as a mother of 2 queer children, actually.
Did you force them to be queer?
One transgender child.
Did you force them to be trans?
And one pansexual child.
Did you force that? Well, you must have. Considering the fact that all of your kids have some kind of label, means you definitely forced them. I'm not even going to bother asking. You did.
One of our execs stood up and said, you know, we only have a handful of queer leads in our content. And I went, what?
Fuck off. Are you guys aware that every single time Disney has a gay character, an article comes out saying, this is Disney's first gay character, this is Disney's first trans character? And there's been like 11 fucking articles of that. It's amazing how many... It's 51st Dates. Have you seen that movie? Because then you won't get the reference. But it's 51st Dates, Disney Gay People Edition.
That can't be true. And I realized, oh, it actually is true. We have many, many, many LGBTQ.
God forbid you create a new character who's trans or gay. No, you must take already existing ones, right? And change them. Because, let's be fair here. I mentioned this in an older video. I think it was my Hollywood Political Pandering's Gone Too Far video. But, let's just say it again here because I made that video 3 years ago. When movies, in general, instead of creating a brand new black character or a brand new trans character or a brand new gay character, and instead take a character who already exists, like Dumbledore or Superman or whatever, and just suddenly change their skin color or make them gay or make them trans or whatever, you are actually insulting black people, trans people, gay people. And do you know why? Because when you take an already existing character, you are basically saying directly, the character's gonna suck because they're black. We need to take a character that people already like and change them. That way, they're forced to like them when they're black. Because you don't have faith. You don't have faith that a black character can just simply be good. You don't have faith that a trans character can just be good. So you have to take a character that people already like and make them black or gay to say, well, you already currently like them, so you're guaranteed to like them now? Maybe? It's so insulting.
And then you have Anita Bryant, and many of us are of an age to remember Anita Bryant's Save Our Children campaign, which was premised on the same ideas that undergird this bill. And because of her campaign, that equated being gay with being a child predator, she was able to pass a ban.
We're not saying that being gay equals child predator. What? Here we go again. The same notion that the bill is just against gay people. Fuck off. It's against teaching it to children. The fact that you think that teaching children about sex is the same thing as gay people means that, well, let's be fair, you just called gay people pedophiles.
And amplified by our governor, whose spokesperson immediately began calling everyone who opposed this bill groomers, aka pedophiles.
Because you are. You are. If you support teaching children, okay, children, about being trans, cutting off their body parts, switching bodies and switching genders, and about sex and BDSM and shit like that, you are a pedophile.
Last summer, we removed all of the gendered greetings in relationship to our lives fields. So we no longer say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've provided training.
They removed saying ladies and gentlemen from the actual Disney parks. Okay, I've heard enough of these people talking. You're disgusting, you are pedophiles, and I don't know, like I said earlier, Disney's a company, they need to make money. They need to be inclusive, even of crazy fucking people. But Disney is an evil company. They've always been an evil company, and they supported pedophilia even before the SJW culture, actually long before. Regardless, yeah, what do you guys think of all this craziness?